Any method of discipline that create emotional disconnection between parent and a child is not a healthy approach for disciplining. Then how to handle when a child is expressing his or her emotion in an unhealthy way? When there is a crisis, emotional crisis, how to handle? First and foremost, hello everyone. Nice to meet you all again. In this series of discipline, today I'm planning to talk on timeout. Timeout usually is accepted as a better approach of discipline, but timeout again is an unhealthy way of disciplining kids. Why? Any method of discipline that create emotional disconnection between parent and a child is not a healthy approach for disciplining. So what are the problems, or why we don't recommend timeout is, first, it will not let the child express its own emotions. Okay, so timeout, whenever the child is given that rejection, or asked, whenever the child is asked to have a timeout, the child tries to suppress the emotion. The child doesn't learn to process the emotions in a healthy way. What happens is the child loses the authentic self. The child in the later life cannot express the emotion in a healthy way, or process it in a healthy way. Other issue of timeout is this timeout, again, as other traditional punishment methodologies, it addresses the behavior and controls the behavior, but it will not focuses on the root cause, why the child is behaving in a particular way. And another problem of timeout is it brings out obedience or compliance out of fear. So the child, to avoid rejection, to avoid timeout, tries to obey, but the child never does it, or changes the behavior. Learning doesn't happen. No understanding. There is only controlling. So the child tries to obey and comply to your, instruction, just because the child doesn't want to be rejected or don't want timeout simply. Otherwise, no learning happens. The child doesn't get to understand why I should not behave in a particular way. The why is not happening. The learning doesn't happen. So the next question is then how to handle when a child is expressing his or her emotion in an unhealthy way. When there is a crisis, emotional crisis, how to handle? First and foremost is stay with the child. Never try to separate the child. Never try to, give a timeout. Just stay with the child. Let the child express her emotions or his emotions. It's okay. Sometimes it will be embarrassing for the parents, but still, for the health of our children, we have to hold on. Just be with the child. Don't start with correction or advising, but just stay with the child. Once the child resumes back with the emotional, when his or her emotion is regulated, then you can begin a conversation and just start with I see that you're upset. Do you want us, shall we talk about it? Just see whether the child is readiness. Check the readiness of the child. Just see if the child is ready. Then start the conversation. Otherwise, wait, no problem. So your presence, your connectedness during or while the child is expressing his or her emotion in an unhealthy way is what will reconnect the whole process, and learning happens. The child will be ready in future to talk about the happening. Otherwise, the child is not ready for listening. The child, maybe the child may try to change the behavior, but child will not have an understanding or a learning about why I should not do the behavior. Okay? So, but when we try connecting with the child emotionally while the child is expressing or misbehaving, it actually rebuilds the connection. So in the long run, the child will become emotionally regulated person, where the child knows how to process it in a healthy way, how to talk it out, how to seek help while emotionally getting distressed. So these are the alternatives for timeout. So why don't we replace timeout with reconnection or giving time in. Thank you.